Okay, today I'm going to show you guys how to do adjusting entries, which is a type of journal entry that's required for accrual accounting. And it's going to help your company to recognize all the expenses they incur during a period. So we're going to do one of the more common types of adjusting entry, which is prepaid rent. So for our example, we're going to say that it's July 1st, and we're paying our entire rent today, which is going to be $24,000. So we're just going to put July for the date, and it's the 1st, and our account title is going to be prepaid rent. Okay, and we're going to give that a post reference for the general ledger of, we'll just make something up, 130. And we're going to debit the whole $24,000 to our prepaid rent account. Okay, that part was easy. And then we're going to go down to cash because we paid it all up front, and we'll give that 100. I'm going to post that to the general ledger later. And that's also $24,000. Okay. And then we're just going to give a little explanation of what we just did. And that's going to be to record payment of 1 year's rent in advance. Okay, that was easy enough. So now we're going to say it's July 31st, and we've used up 1 month's rent already. So all we're going to create the rent expense account. Okay, and for that it's going to be, your rent is $24,000, and all you do is divide it by 12 months in the year. Okay, and that gives and then we're going to have the post reference there of 150. Just make that up. And to increase the expense, we're going to debit it $2,000. Okay, so that's all you had to do there. And then we're going to do prepaid rent as our next account. And that one was post reference 130. And we're going to be taking away from that, so we're just going to credit it $2,000. Okay. And then all that's left is to just write a little explanation of what you did. And we're doing that to record the cost of expired rent for the month of July. All right. And the last step is just to post these to the general ledger. We have a general ledger for the balance sheet and for the income statement accounts. So we'll just start at the top with prepaid rent. We're going to go to post reference 130, which is a balance sheet account. And if you remember, on July 1, on general journal page 1, we debited prepaid rent $24,000. Okay. Also on July 1, we credited cash $24,000. So we just put $24,000 right here. And that was on July 1. On general journal page 1, that's where we first did it. Okay, and that was the only cash transaction that we had for the month of July, we're pretending. And so we can go ahead and do our ending balance. Spell. which leaves us with $76,000 at the end of July. Okay, and let's see what we need to do next. So we've already done prepaid rent, we've done cash. Now we're going to come down and do rent expense. We debited rent expense on July 31. From General Journal, page 1. And we increased that by $2,000. Okay, and that's all we did for rent expense for the entire month. So our ending balance for July 31 is going to stay $2,000. Okay, and then we just had one last transaction. We credited prepaid rent. Right here. That was $2,000. We're reducing it by $2,000 because that's how much we used. And then that was on July 31st. From General Journal, page 1. Okay, and that's all we did for July. So that gives us an ending balance of $22,000 in the prepaid rent account. So I think you can see adjusting entries are really easy. They might be a little intimidating at first, but once you get it figured out, it goes really quick, and you can see how it helps so much to keep your accounts up to date and to help us to know where our money is going and where we stand. So I hope you guys find that helpful.